David Charrier.
Dan Mulqueen.
Wego.
Oh, bro, you sounded like a French rapper this time.
Can you, like, what is this one?
Okay, ouais, gros. So, basically, do not try to reproduce this in your own country, but in France, if you have a cool buddy, you can call him, hey, fat guy. Like, literally, the fact that he's big and, you know. So, ouais, gros means it's a nice introduction. You nailed it.
Nice. Yeah, thank you. This is, like the French that I want to learn. It's not like the cat is small.
Where is my umbrella?
No. Where is the library? No, it's like, tell me how to call somebody fat.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, tell me how to insult my friends nicely. No.
I'm preparing you. This way you are prepared for your next tour and some French concerts and stuff.
Yeah, sure, man. But how are you, dude?
I'm doing very good. My mom is at home, so I try not to work too much.
Yep.
You know.
Nice.
But good moment. Excellent, yeah. You?
Nice, man. Very good. Yeah, very good. Getting ready. I leave for, by the time this comes out, I think I'll have already been back, but I leave for Japan in a couple of days. So just
Look
getting
at you, Japan.
Yeah, I'm really excited, man, but I'm excited to be done. There's been a lot of tour this summer, man.
And you've
I'm
been already
just
home for 4 weeks, and it's from your summer tour?
Yeah, three and a half, I think, or something like this. Yeah, it was. It's just a lot of moving around, man. I'm excited. Like, I'm really, really excited to go to Japan.
Yeah, you told me.
I'm just excited to be. I want to just sit on my couch for like a couple of days and not have to prepare.
Bro, you're gonna have your whole winter at home.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be
yeah.
No, I'm certainly not complaining, but that's what I'm doing. I'm just getting everything ready, getting getting the set ready and all this kind of stuff. So, but yeah.
How is your Japanese?
I got arigato. Thank you. That's literally the only word in Japanese that I know. Like, I got nothing.
You're good.
Yeah, I'm all right. But anyway, today.
Yep.
Big guest today.
Yeah, big guest. I'm so happy to have that person.
Dude, Amy Naylor. She's been crushing for 10 years, man.
Yeah.
She's been around. And she's only like 26 or 27. Like, she started when she was a kid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she's been growing up with the handpan. Literally, it's been a big part of her from teenager to adult life.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But we got to spend some time with her at Pan Tribe.
Yeah, I met her for the first time over there. Yeah,
in Belgium.
She's amazing live. In life, she's amazing.
But,
I'm happy for.
But yeah, she's the best, man. And she couldn't be cooler. Like, she's like, we did a few of the festivals together. She was here in the States last year. Just a good hang, a nice person, and a killer musician too, man. She's really, really talented. So. Very excited to have her on.
Let's do this.
Let's do it, man. Amy Naylor on the Handpan Show. Dave, here we are.
Here we are. Finally, we got her.
Finally, after long last. But our guest today needs no introduction in the handpan world. She is, I was trying to think, she is probably the youngest handpan like OG that we have. She's been playing for 10 years and she's like only 25 or something. Anyway, put on your GPS. We have a little bit of navigating to do. She's been doing music for a very long time. She has 2 albums before handpan, Wasted Paint and what was the other one? What was it? Salvation? What was it?
Selectivist.
That one. But anyway, so it's the Wasted Paint, by the way, is a 41 track album, which is crazy. She's got 4 other singer-songwriter releases before her first handpan release in 2017 called Handpan Meditations. Then some more singer-songwriter albums, and then we get to the big one, the big kahuna. The Earth Teaches came out early this year, 2023 is her new album. She's also a member of Porta Band with Rosie Berganzi. She's got just under 20K subscribers on YouTube with a new video every 30 minutes, it seems. She's the girl from Grimsby, the heartthrob from Heathrow, the one and only Amy Naylor. What's up, Amy?
What's up, Amy?
That was insane.
I'm bummed I missed the your second album. So what was it? What's the name of it again?
Slacktivist. It's like activist, but you're slacking on it.
Slacktivist. That's right. I knew it had some kind of name. But how are you?
Oh my goodness. I'm amazing. Thank you for having me. It's lovely to see you both.
Yeah.
I would love to just like that. Can I first talk about Wasted Pain?
We would love to hear about it.
A 41-track album. It's funny. That's not really how it went down. When I was a teenager, I was recording on my dad's computer and releasing little paper-sleeved albums for a few years.
With like the handwritten track lists and all that.
Exactly. And I think I did 3 of those. And then instead of uploading those individually to the internet when that became a thing and Bandcamp, existed, I just put everything on Wasted Paint and just threw it out. So it's not even really, I don't consider it even really much of a real album. But
Bandcamp would disagree because it says 41 track album. I saw that when I was scrolling through your thing. I was like, 41 tracks. That's crazy. But you've been putting music out anyway for, more than 10 years. What was what made you first start doing that? You were in high school, middle school?
Yeah, I was in, I guess, middle school for you is what it would be. I was maybe around 13, 14 when I started really writing songs that I thought were good enough for people to listen to. But I picked up a guitar maybe around the age of 10-ish. My family were musical. My parents both were in bands as I was growing up, and were in a band together while I was growing up, which was really lovely.
Nice.
And so we would, in the summers, they would take me to like the local festival circuits and stuff, like small, maybe 150, 200 people, and just leave me by the fire with a djembe, And so I kind of got into music that way. I was just surrounded by it all of the time. So it seemed natural.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you started as a singer-songwriter, but you put your first Happy Drum video out like 9 years ago. Is that like how long you've been playing those instruments?
Yeah, I guess so. 9 years ago.
9 years. That's that
crazy.
happy drum.
I don't know when the last time you did it, but if you go to your YouTube page and sort by oldest, like I was watching some of your older stuff, just getting ready for this. I was like, wow, Amy was
We've
a
done
child.
some researches.
You were really young in some of those videos.
We're from the MIT.
Yeah, crazy. I haven't looked back actually. I'm a little bit scared to, but yeah.
So you started with the Happy Drum.
I started with a Happy Drum because I saw the Handpan online on YouTube. I really wanted one. But I was a teenager. I didn't have any money. I didn't have any way of, like, I looked it up. I Googled it. I saw the hung and the halo were a thing. And I figured, no chance. It's never going to happen in my lifetime. So I did more Googling and eventually I found tongue drums. And I saved up for maybe a year or so. And then I got myself a Happy Drum. And I was like, this is it. I figured I've got it. This is as good as it's going to get. I'm just going to get really good at this and enjoy it. But yeah, then a few years later, it transpired that I'm it's kind of a funny story that I probably shouldn't tell.
Go for
I
it.
started university. So I was 18 and I was studying in my hometown. So I didn't have to travel or live alone or anything like this. And because I was from a low income household, I was given a grant for living costs during university, but I was still living at home. So I came into a chunk of money that was roughly the same amount as what a handpan would cost me. And then it just so happened that the first UK handpan maker came around, and I was like, all right, I got to do it.
Yeah.
And so I got a handpan.
It's very smart.
Oh, you did? Didn't you send a letter to Panart? Because 9 years ago, it was exactly the moment where, 2023 minus 9 is. No, it was.
No, I
it
think
was
it
gone.
would have been.
It was gone.
Yeah, it was done. It was already done.
It was already done. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I never did that.
Yeah.
And
But,
I think even then at that time, I just assumed that I would never be able to afford one anyway. So I just I didn't even bother
Yeah,
to look any
you
further.
were 18, so kind of
Yeah,
not
I was a
really.
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, you mentioned finding the instrument on YouTube. What were the first couple of videos that really lured you in?
It was Daniel Waples, of course,
The tunnel
There you go.
one.
who actually has just lended me this instrument.
Oh,
I have a hung in my space now. Yeah, it was him in the tunnel, playing his shakers.
Yeah.
And also there was a video of him playing on the streets of Lincoln, which is a city not far away from where I was living at the time. And so I saw it and I was like, oh, handpan, close to where I live. This is what? This is amazing. Yeah, so his videos really drew me in. And of course Hung Massive as well at the time. And I
That
think that was
video
kind
in the
of
park, right?
exactly.
Yeah, the park one was big.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Yuki as well, actually. Yuki Koshimoto had that
Yep.
Yeah,
old grainy video of
exactly.
her whacking
Yeah.
the
With
bass
the
drum.
bass drum. Yeah.
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 You've been Yuki.
But yeah.
That you
have
remember
been-
those jokes people were doing
yeah.
on the Handpan meme group?
Yeah.
Like you've been
Yeah.
Yuki because we
Yeah.
all had her video on our feeds. So
Yeah.
Yep.
But don't worry, we won't stay on the past for the whole episode. Don't worry. But when was the moment when you started playing, whether it was Happy Drum or your first illegally acquired handpan? Like when did you know like this is going to be a big part of my life now?
It took a while, actually. I mean, as soon as I got the handpan, I was just in it. I think I locked myself in my room for like a week and was just playing and playing and playing and playing nonstop. But it was purely hobby-y, and I still really wanted to make music with the guitar and write songs, and I didn't really get that out of playing the handpan. Playing the handpan was just, it was almost like meditation. It was really fun. It was a challenge. I got to kind of extend my rhythmic vocabulary and enjoy learning something new. But I wasn't getting the pleasure of expressing myself in terms of writing poetry and lyrics.
because of the instrument limitations, right?
Yeah, but also, I mean, no, actually, because I'm doing that now. I just didn't. Hello. I just didn't know that I
How
could
to do it?
that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a possibility. I thought it had limitations. And so I would, if I wanted to write and I wanted to process and all of this, I would always come back to the guitar. And at the same time that I got a handpan, I was also getting heavily involved in the taiko world, which is the big Japanese drums.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I stumbled into that by accident. And that ended up becoming my day job, was playing and teaching taiko. So the handpan got set to
Excellent.
one side.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
But,
that was fun.
Kind of on that, you had, I guess your first like real kind of viral moment was the Billie Jean cover
Yeah.
that you did on handpans. Like
That's how I
for
discovered
someone,
you. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first video I saw from you too. But I guess as somebody who you were already doing singer-songwriter music, you love pop music. Was that video kind of when you put the two together and it got so much attention? Was it kind of validation? You know, handpan plus pop music equals Amy Naylor. Is that is that like justifying the sound that you like and the kind of music that you like?
Yeah, almost. I think it was definitely getting me in the right direction. It was almost what I wanted. But I think in my head what was happening was pop music plus handpan plus loop pedals, because it was a loop cover, right? Gets picked up on YouTube.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite what I wanted to be doing.
Yeah.
But it was a fun experiment, and it was an accident that I did the Billie Jean song, because I was trying to compose and then realized what I was playing was Billie Jean. And so I just did that again a couple times with some other pop songs, and they did well. And I thought, okay, so that's going to bring the audience, and then I can pick up my guitar and play my songs, and people will be there to listen to it.
Yeah.
So I still didn't like connect the dots that this was almost what I wanted to be doing.
Yeah.
And I ended up, eventually trying to get away from being known as the girl who does cover songs on the handpan. And then I dived more into really composing handpan pieces. And I've got a whole album that I've never released of handpan compositions that I'm really proud of, actually. And I started putting videos of that out. And then I kind of started to actually look up what the notes on a handpan are.
Okay, let's sit down and it's quite interesting. You mentioned how some videos online can really put kind of a label on us, because one video is more viral than another one, so people think that's who you are and what you're doing. It's kind of weird because the algorithm is kind of deciding to put us in a certain position or in a certain style, and it's kind of weird for us as musicians. So but for sure we saw you starting with some covers, and then I saw you live. I was like, wow, it's not only covers, it's proper songs and stuff, and singing, and it's really good. Let's get up to the present. You recently released the Earth Stitches, which has some elements of pop music, kind of some prayer music, and all kind of stuff. Can you tell us a little bit more about maybe the concept behind it and all that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I released The Earth Teaches in January this year, but it's definitely a culmination of everything we just talked about. All of my years as a songwriter, and then all of my years as a handpan player, and then connecting those dots and actually translating the songs onto the handpan. So some of the songs on that album I wrote when I was like 17 on the guitar, and then figured out that I could play it on the handpan and rearranged and and presented it in a new way. Some of them I wrote the day that I recorded it for the album. So it's a real combination of things. So the ones that are a bit more prayer-like, mantra-like, they're very much of the moment. The ones that stuck, basically. Those repetitive and then handpan-centric songs. And then the ones that feel a lot more poppy are kind of my teenage singer-songwriter time. And I think I really found what it was that I was wanting to express and to create, in that it's very focused on the album opens with a song called May These Hands Serve the Lands, and it's almost like a prayer, but a promise to kind of give back to the planet and be conscious and live in right doing, if you like. And so that's what the album really is, and it's called The Earth Teaches. So it's about listening to what is around us and trying to live that and give back. And so it's been amazing to put all of those years
all together in one project,
and creating all into one thing. And I'm so ready to move on to the next thing now. Like, you guys know how it is.
So do you think people thought this album is Amy Naylor, but you have something more to share and to tell for the next one? Or do you think this album really represents you and all these aspects of your musicianship? I
think at the time, it really represented everything. That was only January, so like 8 months ago. Yeah. Now I'm like, no, this isn't
guys,
even it.
I
thought I had it.
Yeah.
I didn't have it. Yeah, exactly. Backtracking to what we were just talking about, the Billie Jean cover, the pop, all that pop stuff, and then creating this more acoustic-y pop album. Now the next step is to combine those elements and still have this message, and still, my goal is still to, in my songs, I want to empower, and I want to make people think, and I want to make people sing, and I want to make people dance, and I want to express myself. But I want to do this in a real like pop bubble, a real accessible handpan pop bubble, and I think I was almost there with Earth Teachers, but it still isn't quite where I'm going. But I have plans.
Yeah. What was the recording process like for you? Take forever? Was it pretty quick, painless?
All of that.
Some of it really quick. Some of it I recorded in a cabin in the woods while I was on holiday with my Zoom like recorder, and
nice.
that was it, and I was done. And then I just spent ages editing it. And I originally set up my old bedroom in my parents' house that I turned into a makeshift studio with like blankets everywhere and, you know, mics and all the rest of it. Really tried to do it properly. Spent a week or so really like just tracking the handpan and the vocals. And then this was January 22, and then spent a year thinking this isn't right, I'm gonna put this on it, try this, do this, and then I moved house twice since then, so I'm re-setting up studios, and it was a long process.
That's horrible.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, the end product is really nice. You should be super proud of it. It was a nice. It's a good listen. If anyone hasn't listened to it,
go and do it.
Highly recommend. But the other thing that you are pretty active with is Porta Band with
Porta Band. Yeah.
Porta Band, with Rosie Berganzi. It's a great project. It's very fun. How did you guys decide to kind of team up and make music together?
Another fun story. So maybe a little over a year ago, more even, a couple of years ago, Rosie was granted some funding for research and development in handpan world. She was granted funding from the Royal Philharmonic Society, which is a London-based organisation. And part of that was taking the handpan into different classical contexts and working with different musicians to find new ways to use it. And another part of that was working with another handpan player. And so we'd met online. We both were YouTube, tutorial maker people. So she reached out to me. We didn't really know each other that well yet, but she reached out and said, "Would you like to do a thing?" And it finally happened a year or so later, maybe longer. And so the project was spending a week together in one place and composing, recording an EP. And so we composed and we recorded. And now, a year later, just last month in August, we released the EP. And so that's kind of how it happened. And we were set to, record it, release it, and be done with it. Cool, we did this cool project with this other handpan person. But we really hit it off, we really got along, turned into this wonderful love story. And now we continue to play music together, and we plan to play shows together and write more.
It's really excellent to listen and to watch the videos where you share the handpan are really playful, alive, super nice. I like it.
Yeah, super nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Super nice.
Yeah, it feels really natural and easy to play together. And that's, how that is when you find somebody, a really good jamming partner. It's just like, all right, we're going to do more of this.
There's this chemistry and things are going kind of fast,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No, so cool. Yeah, so what's the story? Sorry, but when I hear the egg and spoon energy, I need some details. We want to know what's behind this. What's the story behind?
We found the video actually of where this title came from.
It's a restaurant.
No.
You're thinking, is it chicken and the egg? Is that what you're thinking of? That's the restaurant here anyway.
I mean, any more guesses?
Oh wait. That's what. The egg and spoon.
But isn't it a backyard game? Like where you put the spoon in your mouth and put the egg on
and you
it?
have to walk with an egg.
You have to walk with it without breaking it?
Yes, this. Well done.
You guys played that game together? Like,
no.
Hey, I have an idea. Hey, Rosie.
Every day in the studio.
Hey, Rosie, let's have a break and play the egg and spoon.
Almost. No, you're getting closer. You're getting warmer. It was let's have a break and go for a walk around the park because we haven't been outside all day. We've been composing and recording. But during this time, we'd both made ourselves a cup of tea. Very British.
Yeah.
And I'd filled mine very, very full. But we decided we had to catch the sun before it setted. So we're like, let's go for a walk with our cups of tea. So I was walking along the path and it was still too hot, trying not to spill my tea all over myself. And she said, it's giving egg and spoon energy. And so there we have. And so that was the working title. And then we couldn't think of a good title. And so there it is.
Nice. Thanks for telling us.
Yeah, well, that's a cool story. But Anyway, something I've always admired about your playing and your, I don't know, I guess your whole live show as a whole is that even if you're playing kind of fast and silly songs or really slow and serious songs, you know, the crowd is kind of with you the whole way. You kind of always have people's attention. How do you do that in every setting, whether it's, you know, super small living room style or, you know, we just saw it on the stage at Pan Tribe, which was
how do you
quite
keep
a larger
those
stage.
people?
That's a really good question. I don't know if I've really thought about it before.
Well, then never mind. Don't think about it and just keep doing it.
Yeah, just do it.
Doing it. I think a big part of making music for me is making, like, again, like I say, I grew up with a musical family around people making music together, and this feels really important for me. And I was also a very shy child, and so I wasn't very good at making conversation or anything like this, but I was good at just joining in and playing music, and that was how I felt like I could be part of something. And so when I'm playing a show, to be on stage away from all of these people behind microphones on my own is quite scary and daunting. But if I can just kind of, I guess I've learned over the years performing, and I've been in various, you know, pub bands and that kind of thing, so I have learned how to connect with an audience. But for me, if I can just really let myself be myself and be authentic with how I am and tell the truth and ask for people's energy and ask them to join me and to sing with me and to be really part of the journey with me, then I feel a lot more comfortable and supported and held on stage. And so I think, yes, I want everybody to have a good time and you know, engage and have a great show, but also it's just a no-brainer for me. Like, I have to do that in order to have a good show. I need people with me.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then kind of like on that same thing, you know, silly and fast or slow and, you know, super meditative or whatever, when you play or you sing, you know, everyone knows that that's an Amy project. Like if you're in it, you have a very distinct style. So for you, how much of it is like intentional, you know, you're trying to kind of stick to a lane, or how much of it are you trying to, you know, go try new things but also preserving your signature style? Like, how do you balance all of that?
Yeah, I feel up until this point, a lot of it has just been going with intuition and just kind of playing what I want to play. And then, you know, when you play the same song over and over and over again, you see what works, what doesn't work, what catches people's attention. And like the title song of the album, The Earth Teaches, actually I wrote for... I was doing a project with my mum at the time where we were going into a school and delivering meditation sessions, and part of that was singing with the children. And I wrote that song to sing with the children. That was deliberately written for sing along. And so and then during that process, I saw which parts worked and which parts didn't. And now, you know, when I write those kind of repetitive mantra-like things, I know what's going to work with people. I know what's going to work with non-English speaking audiences. You know, something that's a bit more wordy, don't do it. So those kinds of things I've picked up just from playing. And I do make intentional decisions with how I choose the songs in my set list, depending on where I am, where I'm playing. But when I'm actually writing the songs, a lot of the time I'm just writing what I want to write, not thinking about the audience. And then I'll think about
then you think how to adapt it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there's a percentage of things that are doing on purpose. Maybe you create your list and you're like, oh, I should do this between those two songs. But at the moment, it's just who you are, and you don't even write things down. You're like, I'll see. I'll see how it goes. And I think it's more a skill of being able to really be yourself and to let it go and to just being live and interact with people. Because we feel sometimes you go to some concerts or stuff, you feel when the guy is not genuinely being that, and you're like, that was scripted, like everything, even that joke or that oh, let me think, you know. And I think when I'm watching you, I'm like, this is, I don't want to give any percentage, but it's like, this is totally her. and she adapts. And I'm sure the day after, if she does the same concert, she will end up with other stuff to say in between.
Yeah.
Maybe 20% is written, the set list, the a few elements, and
or even
like
the songs are the same, but the how
What's
you play
in
them is
between,
going to
yeah.
be totally different. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. A lot of my songs have little moments that are completely improvised. Basically what I'm playing on the handpan, I have a chord progression, and then I just let my hands do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And let me find you have. Oh, I just went on a dictionary. You have a very nice repartee.
Repertoire.
No,
Repertoire?
repartee.
Repartee.
Repartee. To be quick on the draw. To be quick on the draw. What is this dictionary? Like, you have.
I'm sure it's a compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope so.
And
it's like we have proper English with you and American English with me, and we're coming up with nothing.
Glib repartee. Glib repartee. Glib. Okay, I'm gonna explain it. It means that you have a skill. Avoir le sens de la répartie, we say in French. It means that you are quick to bounce on everything's going on and being able to manage it. You're not surprised, like, oh, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You can bounce on what people are saying, and if a phone ring in the audience, you can right away play over the top of it or have fun with it. This is a skill to have. It's written glib repartee. Anyway,
I think we've just learned a new word.
Yeah.
let me teach you guys. Let me teach you. Come on.
Yeah, this has been English with Dave.
Yeah, I'm a Shakespeare. I'm a Shakespeare guy. Okay.
No, I don't know this one, but if that's one word that sums up all that, then I think we should incorporate it for sure in our everyday vernacular.
Yeah. So
thank you.
Yeah, let's move on. Another thing you've been working. Maybe can I do a bit of promotion for my English classes?
Yeah.
Please.
Okay, guys, if you want to learn some new vocabulary,
That's it.
Neologism, call me. You've been working hard on your teaching, and you've become one of the go-to players for teaching. How important is teaching handpan to you? What do you like in it? Because some people are like, I don't like it. You have students, they cannot make it. It's boring. Why do you like it?
I find joy in other people's joy, and like teaching beginners workshops is one of my favorite things in the world, because that like progression from I know nothing, there's no way I can do this, to oh my god, I just played a whole song and I had no idea this was going to happen, is just the most amazing feeling. And so it just makes total sense to do that. And like I said, before I was really in handpan, I was teaching taiko for a living for a while, so I knew that was something I developed the skills in and I knew how to do. So it was just an obvious stepping stone. But yeah, I love it, and I love making the videos. I love like the creation of setting up the cameras and putting lights in the back, and I get a kick out of it. I really enjoy it.
Nice.
I'm a bit of a nerd.
By the way, your setup is cool, and we can see you're having pleasure.
Yeah, even this
doing
is a
that.
great setup now.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think it's always interesting to ask fellow teachers about this. But when you're teaching, how do you balance, teaching things that are your style, the Amy style, while also avoiding, the potential of duplicating yourself, printing yourself, and creating mini Amy style clones who play just like you? Like, how do you balance that? Because when we teach kind of our style. But we don't want them to be like us. And how do you balance?
Yeah, it's a hard balance, I think. But especially, I think it's easier to balance that right in a workshop setting and in person. I think it's more difficult in video, like in the YouTube videos or whatever.
Yeah.
Because in person you can teach a thing and then say, all right, now let me show you a bunch of ways that we could make this our own, that we could do something different with this. Yeah. And I would maybe give a couple of examples, but not too many. And then the students would go, and then whatever I see that they're doing, that they bring back, I can encourage that. And And I think
I guess if they're watching your videos too, like they at least want to learn the Amy style, to a certain extent. Like they did choose to watch your video, so of course you want to show, your favorite things and the things that make you play the way that you do, but also showing the possibility to like do this on your own. I think I sat in on one of your workshops. I think it was at Wild Naya, I think, and it was really great. Like to see that, like where it was definitely an Amy workshop, but it wasn't like here's how to play track 3 off my album. Like,
no, I'm not into that. I think pretty much everything I teach, like again, it's hard on video because you teach a groove or you teach a progression or whatever, but everything that I teach in that aspect, I try to leave it as open-ended as possible and give frameworks rather than like scaffolding, if you like, that they can climb and use, rather than this is how you do it. Yeah.
Only this way.
Only this, unless they ask specifically for that, then I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, you gotta be there.
Yeah.
But I mean, we saw each other a lot this summer. That was, and actually this year too, Florida, we were together there in Europe. It was, before the question, it was really great to like hang out with you for a longer period of time this year. It was really, really fun. But, yes, I mean, with all of the stuff, the performing, the teaching, you've mentioned so much about the, crowd feedback, whether it's your playing, whether it's your teaching. How much of that goes into your planning, whether it's for your performance, whether you're teaching, like where you're, actively doing these festivals and these concerts and really seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, or are you just kind of in your studio like, I think this is good, let's go?
I mean, at different phases is different, I guess. Like at the beginning of summer, no idea. I have no idea what's going to land. You're just going to have to trust it and do what you can do. But then, over the course of the more shows you do, it's like, oh, last week I cracked a joke and people laughed, so maybe I'll do the same joke this time and see if it works. But I don't think it wasn't until, actually I have, at the very end of my tour on the train home, I opened my journal and I said, it's the end of my tour, oh my goodness, and I processed and blah on the page and wrote loads of stuff, and then I wrote a thing that said what worked in my teaching, and I just bullet pointed a bunch of stuff, and then I said, okay, what do I want to do more of that worked from that, and I bullet point what didn't work. Okay, lots of these things. So next year when I go back out again, I can look back at that and go from there. But until that point, I feel like I wing it a lot. I mean, I know it's not true. I know that I've been doing this for years and that I've been studying and I've been teaching and I've been planning my sessions and stuff, but every time I'm about to teach or about to perform, I just feel like I'm underprepared or like I'm just making it up or I don't deserve to be, these thoughts happen and I kind of just have to trust. Yeah. You have to trust. It worked last time. People liked it. It's okay. Just do it. Just be you. It's fine.
And we have a choice after we're done with the concert or teaching. Either you go overthinking and looking for some feedback, or you just celebrate who you are, what you did, and it's still nice to have some discussions with friends and stuff. But you have two options at the end of a show. Either you're like, that was not good. I did 52 mistakes.
Dude, you had one of my favorite moments with this. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think it was 2019 at the French Festival. Yeah. Do you remember this story when I came off stage with you?
No.
So I came off stage and it was like there was like technical issues and all this stuff, and like the set was, in the moment you're like, that was terrible, that was the worst, but then in retrospect you're like, that wasn't too bad. But anyway, I came off stage and the first person I saw was Dave, and he goes, bro, before you say anything, I know you're gonna say that was terrible, but it wasn't. You were like, it was a good show, let's go have a beer, let's go chill. Like,
exactly. I remember that.
You didn't even let me have time to be like, oh, what
because I know you. Yeah, we have a choice, and we have to, just to go and drink a beer. And
that's so nice.
Yeah, this is the man.
Which festivals did you play this year? Quite a lot. And where do you hope to get on to get to next year?
I played quite a lot this year. I was all in Europe this year. So I started.
Oh yeah, because you're not from Europe.
No, well, yeah, no.
You're not. You're non-European. I'm always forgetting the Brexit. Yeah.
Well, no. I'm European. I'm just not part of the Union. I'm still European.
Yeah.
If you need any European travel advice, I'd be happy to send you some of my links.
Please.
Sorry.
Okay, well, I should say mainland Europe.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm of the island. Is that true? Well, no, because I started in Hona, which is also on an island in Greece. That was beautiful. That was really lovely. Spent some time in Germany for the Pangonia Festival. Where else did I go? Where have we been together, Dan? We've been at Pangonia. Wild Naya in Austria. Pentribe in Belgium.
Yep. The one in Florida, but that was last year.
Florida was last year, yeah. A Dutch Handpan festival, a couple of little home shows. So it feels like I haven't done a really extensive amount of shows, like gig here, but I feel like I've been on the road a lot and traveling a lot. And I really enjoyed the extensive, like, week-long teaching programs, like the Wild Naya Academy, and Pentribe as well, and the Handpan Dojo summer school as well, which is really lovely. I really enjoyed that, the teaching and being with teachers as well for a long period of time. Yeah, that's been really lovely.
Nice.
Yeah, and then next year, more of this again, but I would like to branch, and I'm planning to branch out of Europe again. So the year before this year, I spent a lot of time in the US. So I'm hopefully coming back in 2024, which will be lovely.
Nice.
And then also flying the opposite direction and spending some time in Australia and Asia, potentially.
Nice.
So it's all kind of beginning of plans at the minute, but it's going to be a lot more travel again, I think.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, this next one is I feel like it's kind of walking on a bit of a minefield, but we'll try it anyway. When we were in Florida, and something that comes up a lot with you is when people say you are my favorite female handpan player, or you are the best. Female. Yeah, you are the best female player here, or whatever. And it's become like a really one of my favorite jokes between us is that, like, the over exaggerated, like, hyper specific, like, so David be like, in this room, it's like, of all the guys from France with beards who are on this call right now, you're my favorite. Like, that's like Amy. Every time I see Amy, she's like, of all the American guys that I'm talking to right now, you're the best one.
And then you are my favorite tattooed player.
But so anyway, with the the whole
you too.
See now you got to be more specific.
As a male tattooed red-haired player.
So, but with all of that, obviously it's really great to see more female players on these festivals and on the Spotify playlists and releasing more albums. But in talking with you, you kind of have a bit of a different take where some of the the classifications kind of bug you a bit. So we'd just love to know where you stand on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they do and they don't. The phrase "you're my favorite female handpan player," that does bug me, because there's an implication there that, like, and it's true, because there have been less female handpan players on the circuit for a long time. I think that's changing now, which is exciting. But for me, it just doesn't quite feel like a compliment. It could be, but it's not quite there. And I get the kind of comments on my YouTube a lot as well, saying, really wonderful, great female player, or your playing is great and you're beautiful too, or this kind of thing. Yeah. It's like, it's almost a really nice compliment.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
But I just want to be a good handpan player in my own right. Yeah. And maybe that's a bit of an ego thing or whatever, I don't know. And I do acknowledge that I am a woman and my femininity does have an effect on my playing, and everything about me has an effect on my playing. But at the same time, you know, I'm on the same, I'm in the same box as all of you in that we're all handpan players.
Yeah, it's like you don't want it to be like pretty good for a girl, like nothing like that's
nice
that's what
female playing.
Exactly. Yeah. But then at the same time, like this, I created a women in handpan playlist on Spotify this year.
Subscribe to it.
Cool. Thank you. Amazing.
Gotcha.
So is it serving your goal to create a female playlist? Isn't it the same problem to label
it's the same problem. Yeah. It's the same problem. But what it's doing is, when I think back to, you know, when I first started playing the handpan, all of the videos that I saw, all of the music that I listened to, it was all men, which again, totally fine. But what I didn't see was myself represented in that. And so this is why it took me so long on my path to realize I could sing and play, and to realize I could write my own songs and play, because I didn't see that.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw a video of Mumi playing her Pygmy Lullaby, I was like, oh my goodness, this is an amazing female handpan player. That thought happened because I saw myself and it was inspiring. And so I think at the minute, we kind of, while it's frustrating to hear those things in reflection, we still need to put an emphasis on some of that so that eventually it's just balanced and it doesn't even, it's not even a thing anymore.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do with the playlist.
So it's kind of a step to cancel those distinctions. Like okay, male players, women players, and you want to be like, look, we are a lot, there's a lot of us, so that we can feel like we shouldn't then do the distinction, right?
Exactly.
Cool.
And I think it's the same in lots of areas of life, you know, when we're trying to find equality or whatever in whatever subject it is, often the scales are like this, you know, and in order to find that balance, this kind of thing happens, and then you figure it out, and we need a spotlight on the people that don't get to be in the spotlight, and eventually it balances out. So that's what I try to do with the playlist.
I see, And is there a part of you that is kind of, and I hope you will get that question correctly, is there a part of you that is kind of extra proud to have been one of the first female players at some festivals, putting out some amazing music, getting such nice feedback? I'm asking about this extra proud just because there are a few, and you're one of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and especially when you started, there was, you know, even
I would say even like
so.
Someone below 12 years old. Are you happy to be one of those below 15 years old guy who is already successful? You know, it's this same kind of questions.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think, you know, in the beginning, it doesn't even occur to you that that's what's happening. And it's not until you get comments like, "You're a great female player." It's like, oh, yeah, wow, that's a thing. I'm one of the first. I mean, now it's amazing. There's so many. I'm surrounded by amazing women at the handpan gatherings, and it feels great. But maybe I think so. There's a little bit of
because you could be proud because you're a good handpan player, and also as there are a few female who play and put out some music and stuff, you're doing super good.
Yeah.
Bravo.
But I will say it was I felt bad for laughing because I could tell it really bugged you, but you wore it on your face when I remember watching it in person when the guy in Florida was like, I have to say you were my favorite female player, and it was like your face, it went from like laughing to like, yeah. like you were trying so hard to be polite, but I could tell on the inside you were like, ah! But
I always, you know, people don't mean anything by it. They're not trying to put anybody in a box. They're not trying. That's not what's happening, and I know that. And so I'll take a compliment.
Exactly. But the hyper specific compliments have become like one of the funniest things I think. But anyway, on that, you know, there is there's a growing number of female players. You know, festivals, the Spotify playlist outside of yours too. Who are some of the female players that you're really excited about coming up? Beside Rosie, obviously.
Might be biased on that part. Coming up, I mean, it's so hard.
Or already established, not even coming up yet.
These questions are so difficult because I'm gonna miss people out that I really love. I'm a big fan of Mumi. Her playing and her composing and her melodies and everything are just amazing, incredible. And she needs to record stuff.
Yes.
Because I always forget how much I like her music, and then I see her show, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah,
she's got a studio. She has a recording studio in her workshop too, so there's no excuse.
Get on it, girl. I really like what Maya is doing with the really nice jazzy poppy stuff with the handpan. Lovely like chromatic elements in what she's doing. Really amazing. Heidi Albert, another great player and singer, has recently released an amazing album.
I just saw her at Hug Festival play.
Yeah. She rocks.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff. Very inspiring. Like electronic beats, like really cool stuff.
I haven't heard.
Oh my goodness, there's so many great players.
Yeah, don't worry. You don't have to. We know that you mean well. If you miss a few, it's all right.
Yeah, exactly. Those questions are horrible.
I could go for so long.
Yeah.
Sam Archer of Archer and Trip. I love her playing. You don't get to see her play solo very much, but she's really solid. There's so many. I want to look at my playlist. Like, there's so many.
The Handpan Show is brought to you by Master the Handpan, the world's largest online handpan educational platform. Whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced player, or want to learn from one of your favorite players, Master the Handpan has everything you need to improve your skills and have fun. Feeling lost while searching for your first handpan? Master the Handpan has you covered with our one-stop marketplace, connecting you with reputable makers to find your perfect instrument. Join our thriving community of over 15,000 handpan players and share your passion with like-minded handpan enthusiasts. Master the Handpan. Learn fast, have fun.
All right, Amy, we were back. We do this thing. I know you said you haven't watched any of the shows yet, and that's fine. We're not upset about it.
This means she's not prepared.
She's not prepared at all, which is
I like
great.
It's gonna be cool.
But we do these like 10 rapid fire questions, not particularly related to handpan stuff. Would you like to play our little game?
Okay.
Perfect.
She said yes.
She said yes.
think?
First question. What was the first album you've ever owned?
Oh God, I don't even know. I had an old tape, a Blondie cassette.
Nice.
A long time ago.
Nice.
But the first CD I bought myself, I think, was a British band called Busted. It was a boy band.
I don't know them.
You
Wow.
probably would.
I know quite a few, but this one, yeah.
They were very popular in the UK. Very popular. And yeah.
Nice.
That's all I will say.
What is your dream collaboration?
I'm
Worldwide.
living it.
You're living it? Rosie?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Aww.
That's cute.
I mean, I didn't know that until it happened, but yeah.
That's super nice. Wow.
That's probably our most adorable answer to that question. Who is one artist that you love that people would be surprised to know?
Probably maybe not. I can't name specific artists, but maybe genre. I guess would be like the noise category, like power noise music and hush noise music. I enjoy.
And a little bit of Avril Lavigne.
I love Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, everyone knows that. Wait, like noise, like just static.
It's just like, psh, but then with like percussive elements to it, and it's just like really like crunchy. And,
Have you seen this dude on? I think it's Instagram, if not Facebook. I forget his name. He's this Japanese dude that performs with just a snare drum.
Sounds great.
He just like hits a snare drum and throws it across the room and all this stuff, and he's like a noise artist or whatever. That's what you like?
Yeah. That's I'm
Weird.
so here.
Super
Yeah,
weird.
okay.
I love like weird experimental electronic stuff. I'm really
Super
into.
weird.
All right.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. What is your biggest pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve. I don't know if I have them. Oh, I have that
Yeah,
thing.
everyone has one.
There's a word for it. I don't remember the word for it, but like sounds like people chewing near my ear. It like gives me a physical reaction. Like I actually want to punch them in the face. And I'm not an aggressive person.
I'm gonna remember that for next time I see
Yeah.
They just start chewing my ear.
Oh man.
Like it's specifically like bread and that kind of thing, like back of the mouth chewing.
Yeah, you know what gets me is cereal. When I hear people chewing cereal, because it's like the wet from the milk, but also the crunch from it drives. It's not even like my biggest pet peeve, but I do that with your shoulders. You're like, oh,
It like hurts. It like
Yeah.
physically
it hurts.
me.
Yeah, no, honestly, yeah.
yeah. What is your most embarrassing moment on stage?
Quick fire. I don't know. I'm probably way back when I was a kid, probably trying to act, being in theatre shows and doing a terrible job of acting has been quite embarrassing. And knowing that recordings exist is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Next one. What is your favorite food?
Chocolate.
Okay, so guys, whenever
Take
you
that
meet,
counts.
whenever you see Amy, bring some chocolate.
But just
Please.
don't eat it in your ear.
Dark one or milk?
Everything.
Eh,
all
oh,
of the above.
Even with
All of it.
orange in it
Even with orange.
and mint.
Orange, mint, other flavors.
Just anything chocolate.
Nice.
If it has chocolate, you're in.
honestly,
easy.
anything chocolate.
Nice.
Except for Nutella and like chocolate on bread or chocolate on savory things. I don't like that.
That's
No.
it's being
All right.
specific.
Noted.
Nobody.
Well, it won't be in your. That's not in your rider. Who is your current favorite handpan artist?
I mean, I don't know about current favorite, but my most recently listened to was Heidi Albert's album.
Nice.
I love so many.
What are your hobbies outside of music?
And I like long walks in the park.
Nice.
This is your dating profile.
On Tinder.
I love being outside and walking. I love creating other things. It's probably
Aren't you a
music. I love
skateboarder?
it. Oh yeah, I did skate, but no, I
Yeah.
gave up on that.
Oh,
did skate for a
you
while.
broke something or?
Oh, yes, my little finger,
Oh.
and I did
those?
start to get scared after a while. But I don't know. I'm lazy, and I pick up a sport with the intention of getting fit, and then I go to bed. I don't know.
Excellent.
All right, two more here. What is the one song that makes you happy every time you hear it?
Oh gosh, so many. The one singer I can think of is Aurora, a pop singer, Norwegian pop singer. And just to pick a song out of thin air, probably Everything Matters.
Nice.
Okay.
Big fan. She makes me happy.
Nice. We'll put some names in the descriptions then. Oh,
Sure.
good thing. Okay, this one is very serious. You have to be honest. If you had $1 million, what would be the first thing you buy? Straight away, like that.
Studio equipment.
We've got many times that
That's-
answer.
it's-
Yeah.
Everyone's answer so far has been either studio equipment or a house, or like paying, not even
a
a
house.
house, but like paying off their existing house. It's been
Yeah.
the two answers.
Yeah.
Every time, except Connor Shaffrin had a van with a studio in it.
Ooh.
That was pretty good.
Yeah,
was pretty
I'm
good,
down for
yeah.
that.
Still similar to the two answers, but a little different.
It's like those. It's the two answers combined.
yeah, in a
Yeah,
way.
exactly. We need to analyze this need of
Yeah.
a roof and this need of making music.
I
This
mean,
is
that's just
life.
musicians.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we need to live and we need to create.
Yeah.
That's it.
right. But thank you for playing our little
Yeah,
game
thanks.
here. We're gonna get you out of here in a few minutes. Before we do, I mentioned it in the intro, but your YouTube channel is, as you would say in England, proper insane. You have it feels like thousands of videos every day. You're putting out something new, and you've also just launched not just launched, but pretty recently launched a Patreon. So you're building kind of a community there. Can you talk us through, what people get from Patreon, what you're building there?
Yeah, sure. So on YouTube, I'm trying to upload a new tutorial every Monday and then other music things around that. But in order to be able to do that, I need to be able to fund my time. So that's what I created the Patreon for, so people can support me in making free educational content. And as part of that, people get free downloads of the music that I put on YouTube. They get, depending on the tier, an extra tutorial every Friday. I get access to my classes. I run online classes on Zoom, discounts on courses that I create, lots of different things, extra perks. But yeah, mostly just enormous gratitude for helping me make free stuff for everybody else.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So we said that you've been working a lot on your page on YouTube. Congrats on that. Honestly, it's a lot of work. But what advice would you give to a player who just starting out? You want to make some videos, build something kind of similar to what you have built. Some advices.
Start from a place of joy and not from a place of business or wanting eyes on you, because that won't work. And yeah, just don't be afraid to put in, like, schedule in time for yourself and your own personal development and practice and all of that kind of thing. Like, yeah, it's something that I've forgotten since creating the channel and doing this as a living. It's like I forget that just playing and practicing is also a good, productive thing and worth my time.
Nice.
So always come back to that. Yeah.
So you do everything yourself? Thanks for those advices, like shooting, editing, and stuff?
Yes.
Ooh,
all of it.
You work a lot. You said you're lazy.
Yeah.
For sports, maybe.
Lazy before. Yeah, I spend too much time in front of my computer editing and planning and filming. Yeah.
That's
it's
amazing. But as somebody who you're creating all the time, you're doing all your own videos as well as the content, all this stuff. Do you ever deal with like writer's block or times where you're feeling particularly uninspired?
For sure. All of the time. And I have this, like, if I feel that way, if there's something that I'm uninspired to do, usually for the most part there's something else that I can do that is also productive. If I really don't want to play, then I can get into my rational head and I can plan. Or if I really don't want to plan, I can get into my creative head and play. If I don't want to do either of those things, then I can deliberately make an intentional choice to fill my cup in other ways so that I'm inspired again. So I'll go out for a walk or read a book or do something different, but like with an intentional time scale and everything.
Nice.
It's important to deal with creative block because it's scary.
In a few words, maybe COVID, how was it? Did you feel inactive, or how was it?
No, actually, probably quite controversially, COVID is what kickstarted a lot of my handpan career. It forced me to start online, make YouTube videos, and that's what gave me my name. So, weirdly,
you had a pretty good time.
It seems.
Oh man. Well,
but it felt good to get out of it for sure.
Yeah, definitely. The last thing for us, as somebody who, the title of this episode is going to be something along the lines of growing up with the handpan, because you've been playing for so long. But as somebody who's been around for such a large chunk of your life, what excites you about the future of the instrument, the future of, playing, essentially?
Just the fact that there's so much future, and like every day almost I hear somebody doing something different. In this playlist that I've got, there are so many different ways that people are using the handpan, seeing it appear. I just listened to like a random playlist on Spotify, like pop music playlist. First song that came up, some pop artist I've never heard of who's really famous, don't know. Handpan.
Whoa.
It's like, it's happening. It's starting to... And I'm so excited about that. I know a lot of people are really not excited about that.
Those people.
They should be, though.
They should be.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's going to be amazing. Seeing it in jazz
spreading
context.
out.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, the floor is yours. Plug away. Where can people find you? What do they need to know?
Find me on YouTube, where I give free tutorials every week. Find me on my website, where I have a bunch of stuff, and I have a singing course on there. I also have a course on handpandojo.com. I have a Patreon. I have my album, The Earth Teaches, and lots of other albums if you dig deep enough, from the past. But yeah, I'm here. I'm around. I exist everywhere online and hopefully in person at festivals and gatherings and stuff. Yeah, thank you guys. It's been amazing.
Thank you very much.
It's been great. Amy Naylor.
Amy
Handpan
Naylor,
Show.
thank you.
You.